Welcome back to the Baseball Newsman, your home for all things Major League Baseball. It's time for my Week 1 power rankings after the first weekend of baseball. A couple quick things. We're not going to see any major changes to my preseason rankings. Obviously, it's only been one weekend of baseball. Teams are still getting used to things. I'm not going to kill a lot of these teams or bump them up a ton. We might see some course corrections after the first month, but for now, only minuscule changes. So, leading things off, after getting swept by the Marlins, the Colorado Rockies will remain in 30th place. Quite frankly, they had a chance to win a game or two, but it wasn't going to get them out of third place. They have a lot that they need to show me to get out of this final position. Number 29, moving down one spot after losing their series to the Baltimore Orioles, it's the Minnesota Twins. And quite frankly, the only reason they didn't stay in the same spot is because my number 28 team, the Washington Nationals, won their series against the Chicago Cubs. So it's not really an indictment on the Twins and where they currently stand. They're not that great of a ball club. A couple of exciting moments, though, with Royce Lewis. So unfortunately, they're just going to drop just down a little bit because the Nationals won their series against the Cubs, and I thought that was quite impressive, being that I had the Cubs ranked in my top 10 preseason. Number 27, remaining in the same spot as last week, the Los Angeles Angels. Yes, they did split their series with the Astros, which I don't know if that's more of I'm concerned about the Astros or the Angels showed some. It was a nice breath of fresh air to have Mike Trout actually do very well in opening the series. A few home runs, a lot of walks, got on base a ton, stolen base. So a lot of excitement for the Angels surrounding Mike Trout. All right, number 26, moving down one spot. I may have been a little bit too early on them, the Chicago White Sox. I really thought they had some nice showings. Munetake Murakama, oh my gosh, 3 home runs in his first 3 games. That is fantastic. One of 4 players to ever do that. So really exciting stuff with them. Colson Montgomery hit a grand slam as well. I am so concerned about that pitching staff. I thought they were a little bit better, but the Brewers really exposed them, and they were swept by the Brew Crew. Number 25, moving down 2 spots, is the Tampa Bay Rays. I like the offense. I think the offense is still there, but you lost the series to the St. Louis Cardinals, who I was not very excited about, and quite frankly, that's the only reason they're down in this bottom row right now. I want to see some more. I want to see some more from the bullpen. I thought that they just didn't play to where I thought they could have been. Which means number 24 is the St. Louis Cardinals. I was concerned about them coming into the season, but they actually showed me a lot. I liked what the young guys did. The pitching staff was better than what I was expecting. So congrats on the Cardinals. It was a tough-fought series, and they deserved the win. JJ Weatherholt is looking really nice in St. Louis so far. So they move up 2 spots to number 24. Number 23, moving up 1 spot from last week after sweeping the Colorado Rockies, it's the Miami Marlins. Quite frankly, Miami vibes is what I'm going to call them for now because things are looking very exciting in Miami. I am excited for this team. I think they can make some noise. I don't know if they're going to make a playoff spot or push, but they've got a lot of young hitters that I really like. The pitching staff surprised me by being solid. Now, the grain of salt, they swept the Rockies, and they almost lost yesterday. So I didn't want to reward them too much for that, but giving them a 1-spot bump, I think, made the most sense. Staying in the same spot as last week, despite getting swept by the Toronto Blue Jays, my Athletics. Quite frankly, they should have won opening day. It was a miscommunication between Denzel Clark in center and Tyler Soderstrom in left that led to a 2-run triple. Otherwise, the A's would have won opening day either 2-0 or 2-1. So, quite frankly, I'm not bashing them too much. The offense really concerning. 50 strikeouts on opening weekend is really bad. So let's see what actually ends up happening. I did like what the pitching staff did. They didn't give up a ton of runs in this series, and they only lost on opening day by 1, on Saturday by 1, and then by 3 on Sunday. So, yes, they're playing one of my top teams in the power rankings, so they don't get hurt for that. Number 21, dropping down 2 spots, and that was very concerning. I know that they played the Yankees, but the fact they only scored 1 run, the San Francisco Giants, I was really concerned, and it just looks like it's a lot of dysfunction going on so far, all across the board. Only one run scored against the team, any team at that, but the Yankees are still one of my top five teams. Is very, very concerning that the Giants could not put together anything on opening weekend. Number 20, moving up one spot, Pittsburgh Pirates. Yes, they lost the series against the Mets, but boy, did they look good. And it feels like the vibes are there again. I really am excited about the offense, and I think the pitching staff is going to keep getting better as well. So, a tough series with losing to the Mets, being one of my top teams as well, but congrats to the Pirates. I think this is a step in the right direction. And Pirates fans, you have something to be excited about. Number 19, moving up one spot as well after winning their series with the Red Sox, Cincinnati Reds. Hard-fought series back and forth between them, and they came through on top 2-1. You have to reward them for that. I'm a little bit excited about the Red Sox, so for them to lose this first series, don't want to knock the Reds, or I don't want to boost up the Reds too much so far, but Reds will stay in this position. They'll be 19th. Staying in the same spot as last week, the Cleveland Guardians. They split with the Mariners, and I didn't feel like touching too much of this because those teams seemed pretty evenly matched, and Chase DeLauter really, really stood out to me for Cleveland. I am concerned about the longevity of DeLauter's success. He's not going to hit a home run or two every single game, of course, so I'm looking for the rest of the Guardians to step up, and otherwise the Guardians could keep climbing this ranking. Number 17, moving down one after splitting the series with the Angels, the Houston Astros. A lot of walks. A lot of walks pitching staff-wise, and that's a little concerning for me. I am concerned about the pitching staff. The offense is looking nice. I want to see a little bit more out of the Astros. Call me a little bit biased as an A's fan, yes, but I think that they have more to show me, and I didn't get that so far against the opening weekend with the Angels. Moving up one spot, basically switching with the Astros, are the Texas Rangers. Big series win against the Phillies over the weekend, and they showed me quite a lot. I am without Jacob deGrom even, and they still won the series. Mackenzie Gore looked really good, and a full season with him in Texas, it's going to be fun. So good for the Rangers. Arizona Diamondbacks, they got swept by the Dodgers. I'm going to keep them at 15th. I think this team has still got a lot to show. They were up ahead in a few of those games, and they just blew it at the end. So I want to see more from the bullpen, of course. But it's hard to get a gauge on them when you're going against an all-star squad like the Los Angeles Dodgers. So not going to hurt them for getting swept by one of the top teams in the league. So they're going to stay at number 15. Number 14, staying in the same spot as well, Kansas City Royals. They ended up losing the series against the Braves, and there was a chance for them to maybe bump up against them. And once again, a really good series. Dominic Smith had the walk-off grand slam, and the Royals just blew that lead. They were up 2-0, and they gave up a 6 spot. So, I think the Royals have more in them. I just think they need to connect it a little bit better. And number 13, staying in the same spot, the Atlanta Braves. Yeah, I liked what the Braves did. I want to see a little bit more from them still. I'm going to keep them in the 13th spot. Obviously, with them being right next to each other ranked, having a series split like 2-1 like this isn't going to hurt or add too much to either one. The Padres, same position, number 12, still in the top row. I liked what I saw from them. They went up against a team that I am very, very excited about in the Detroit Tigers. They did lose the series 2-1. But I think that they've got a lot going for them still. I think Craig Stammen's done a good job as their manager so far, and Mason Miller's intro is so sick coming out to corn like that. So I am excited for the Padres. I don't think they're going to fall off too much. Number 11, in the same spot as well, Baltimore Orioles. They won the series against the Twins 2-1. But it was a little closer than I was hoping to see out of the Baltimore Orioles in Week 1. Pete Alonso didn't hit a bomb. They only got their first home run yesterday from Tyler O'Neill. I think the offense is still a lot to be seen, and the pitching staff is getting there. So I'm going to keep them in the same spot. I'm not going to boost them up, and I'm not going to knock them down for that series. Number 10 in the same spot as well. We're going to keep the Milwaukee Brewers where they are at. Had a good series, of course, sweeping the Chicago White Sox. A couple of comeback wins there as well. So this team is looking to be pretty exciting and are going to be battling with the Cubs all year long for the division win for the NL Central. Moving down one spot, it's their division rival. It's the Chicago Cubs. I really didn't like that they lost that series to the Nationals. It's only one series, of course, but they've got a lot of new pieces. There's a lot that needs to be righted. Imanaga didn't look that great yesterday, so I think the Cubs will be fine. Just knocking them a little bit. I want to see how they do this upcoming week. Moving up one spot after their big series win against the San Diego Padres, it's the Detroit Tigers. Kevin McGonigal has really been a spark for the Tigers, going 4 for 4 on opening day, or 4 for 5 on opening day, I think. Yeah, he's really a nice spark for this offense. And they hard fought series and they beat the Padres. Staying in the same spot, but I'm close to wanting to drop them down, is the Boston Red Sox, number 7. Losing that series against the Reds is a little concerning. Willie Abreu had a great series and a couple other guys as well. But it's still a little concerning to me to lose that series. I really want to see how they do this week, and there may be a little bit more of an adjustment coming. Number 6, staying in the same spot, the New York Mets. Really good back and forth series with the Pirates. They were down at some points. They were up at some points, but these games were really, really fun. Luis Robert, I'm excited for him in New York to get out of Chicago with the White Sox. This season's going to be fun for the Mets. They're going to be my number 6 team right now. Moving down one spot from last week, it's going to be the Philadelphia Phillies. They lost the series to the Texas Rangers. Rangers have a good starting rotation, yes, but for the Phillies to be one of my top 5 teams, they got to win that series. So just a little bit of a knock, and it's really because of how dominant the Yankees were against the Giants, which is why they move up to my number 4 slot. These top 5 teams, I think, are going to be bouncing back and forth, whoever's on the hot streak. But yeah, Phillies lost that series to the Rangers. I'm going to knock them just a little bit. And the Yankees were completely dominant over the Giants. So they've earned their spot in the top 4. I'm not overreacting. They split the series with the Guardians. It's the Seattle Mariners. That pitching staff is just so good, and it's so deep. And Emerson Hancock, another piece, 8 strikeouts yesterday. So I'm not concerned about the Mariners yet. Splitting the series against the Guardians, I think, is more of a sign that maybe the Guardians are better than what they've shown, and they may be coming up this power ranking in future weeks. Coming off a sweep against the Athletics, the Toronto Blue Jays, and the jersey I'm wearing today, they stay in second place, and they looked really good. They do not have a hole on this team right now. It really appears to me that this team is as complete as the Dodgers. The offense is there, the bullpen is there, and the starting rotation was so disgusting. It was awful as an A's fan to see. But they had 32 combined strikeouts amongst the starters. That is domination. The Kevin Gausman and Eric Lauer on Sunday, they just were striking out A's left and right. So really, really good start. And Dylan Cease looked great on Saturday. So yeah, I think the Blue Jays are going to be the number 2 team pretty much the entire year, barring a Dodgers slump. They swept the Diamondbacks and they looked pretty good doing it too. A little concerning that they fell behind a couple of times, but come on. I mean, this team is so good. They're going to keep clicking. They're going to keep going. Edwin Diaz closing out a couple of those ball games was so electric, having the live trumpet player. Say what you want about the skills of the trumpet player. I thought that was kind of funny to see online, but they're going to be at number 1 all year long, barring something special happening. So, yeah, that's going to be the power rankings after opening weekend. What teams do you expect to move up and down into week 2 with the upcoming matchups? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that subscribe button if you like this video. Otherwise, power rankings week 2 will be coming next Monday. Thanks for watching.